I'm Elaine.
And I'm Rachel.
And welcome to
Legs Out.
And away we go. This is the podcast where we tell you about Formula One our way. The races, the cars, the drivers. We are obsessed.
And here's why you should be too.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Elaine.
Welcome back to the post-Chinese Grand Prix episode.
There was so much that happened.
I think we're going to have to really limit ourselves. Your nice little outline will come in handy now so that I don't get completely off the rails because there's a lot.
I said that the sprint felt like an entire race, which meant the race felt like a trilogy of races.
Oh, this was the longest weekend in Formula One history.
I'm not complaining. However, the idea of compacting this all into like, here's nicely what we saw in Formula One this weekend has blown our brains in the best way.
100%.
Oh my gosh. So what did we limit it down to?
Yes.
What are we going to chat about in this episode?
So if you're wondering what we're going to cover, we have a little brief snippety newsroom, and then we're going to give you the sprint and race results. We're also going to talk about Max to Kimi, from the rising star to the steady star that will not go anywhere in the sky because it is not falling and it never will.
Of course not. No falling.
Nope.
I introduced the idea of two stars, and I was thinking like the generational star and the brand new star. And you said rising and falling. And I walked out of the room and I said, I will take no part in including Max Verstappen as the falling star because you might shank me for that.
I said it in passing, and then I was like, oh yeah, no, we're not gonna intone that because that would be completely blasphemous.
It would be blasphemous. I also don't think it's his star falling. I think it's the Red Bull and Ford powertrains car and engine.
I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts.
We will get to it. This is supposed to be our overview, and we are immediately like, let's get into it.
Exactly.
Okay, so stars, Max.
We're going to talk about Max's race. We're going to talk about Kimi's race. We're going to have some nice little snippets about, we have some press conference drama, y'all, that we want to get into. And we are also going to talk about, of course, the fabulous, the great, the wonderful, the Ferrari. I might even give you a quick little tech term.
Incredible.
And that's my spiel.
Yeah. I will say, if you have been watching us, if you're enjoying us, even if you're here for the first time and you like what we're saying, thank you, first of all. Second of all, subscribe, hit follow, comment, like. All of the engagement with our episodes means a tremendous amount to us, not only as like humans who like hearing that you like our things, but also metrics are helpful to a growing podcast. So help us reach more people who might also like what we have to say.
Sweet little librarian Rachel is just crooning with her cup of tea.
Yeah.
She wants you to rate, review, subscribe, tell her you like our book.
Yes. Accurate.
Sure. Whatever that was. Moving right along to the newsroom. All right. Do you want to talk about Bahrain and Saudi Arabia?
Yeah. So this is a dim star. This is not great news. First and foremost, because we want to send our thoughts to all the people who are actually affected by the conflict that's happening in the Middle East right now. And Formula One has taken the pretty wise decision to cancel, postpone. It's still not quite clear, but the F1 circus will not be going to Bahrain or the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Something that I picked up on within F1 representatives' vocabulary on how they're saying this is in April. They've been very clear to say, we're not going to Bahrain and Saudi Arabia in April.
Right.
Now, I don't know if that means they're ideally trying to like shuffle, perhaps make it there later in the year, or if there are going to be some replacement tracks. We don't know.
Yeah.
All that we know for sure right now is they will not be happening in April. So we're going to get like a 5-week break between Japan and what is that, Miami?
Yes. The Miami. It goes straight to Miami Grand Prix, which would have been the 6th race of the season.
Right.
So if this taught me anything, it is that Americans are truly dumb when it comes to geography. Myself included, I had to look up where Bahrain was in relationship to Iran. It's right on top. It's right on top. So I apologize on behalf of all Americans who are like, why can't you race this? I don't want more races. Get your shit together, figure out what's going on in the world, and then figure out how you can be supportive to the rest of the world. Like true world citizens that we are. Oh, yeah. Soapbox over.
Yeah. Retweet, I say to that. Yeah.
Goosebumps.
it's a trying time. It's a trying time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can really appreciate that everyone is safe in their travels to China. I know that there were a lot of journalists specifically that had a really rough time getting to China.
Yeah.
Because travel is interesting. So everyone stay safe out there. I don't know what love letter to Chinese GP is, so I'm going to let you transition into that one.
Keep that part in.
Okay.
All right. This is a little segment that I hope that Rachel, our tech wizard, can come up with sappy love music to go in the background.
Oh, you betcha.
All right. Dear Chinese Grand Prix, home of wonderful food, the Suzuka circuit. Nope. Home of the Shanghai International Circuit and to large dragons with people inside that puppet them. I want to tell you that everything I said about you last episode is null and void. You are so interesting. You are fabulous. You are fast. And I am so happy they gave you a sprint. And I think you should have been the first race of the season because everything I wanted to see out of Melbourne, I saw in China. That's it.
Whoa.
Much love. XOXO. Elaine co-signed legs out.
Wow. I will say a little addendum to that nice love letter that I love that you wrote.
Good.
I love it. All the love is that every time we come to China, I'm like, why am I not obsessed with this track? This track is so good. And then I remember, oh yeah, Charles Leclerc hates this track. And that's why it's not like super duper high on my list.
Yeah.
But it is a really technical, interesting track. It puts those tires under a lot of stress. So we see some interesting things happening.
Yeah.
And the reliability of the 2026 cars, it ain't good.
Nope.
And therefore we saw some chaos in like giant servings.
Like Thanksgiving size portions.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I go a little smaller on Thanksgiving so I can fit everything on the plate.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So like buffet. No.
I don't really like, you know what? For as
What?
much as we love food, I don't like a buffet.
I love buffets.
Do you really? Oh my gosh. Okay.
But only in certain circumstances because I like to try everything. I don't want to limit myself.
Okay. But also I should say I like a potluck, but I don't
Yes.
like a buffet.
Okay.
So little delineations. Does this have anything to do with racing? Absolutely.
Well-
Yes, because it's legs out style. We're going to combine food and racing.
This was a buffet. If there was any buffet of a race, this was it because you could eat just about a little snippet of everything.
True.
And you could be full and then the next day you could go back for more.
I'm going to write a love letter to your bow that you just wrapped on all of that. I'm so impressed. Well done.
Thanks.
Okay, do we want to get into the meat and potatoes of the buffet here?
I want to give you the sprint results.
Yes.
And the race results.
Yes.
All right. Normally Rachel hates sprints, but Rachel, I get the sense you liked this sprint.
I enjoyed it. I'm going to have to say this season is shaking up what I have come to rely on. Qualifying yet again. Not great. Didn't love it. Could have skipped. Well, no, I would never skip it, but it was not my favorite of the sessions. The sprint, gotta hand it to him. This one was exciting. And it ended with P1, George Russell. Not a given. Not a given. As we will find out in the race. P2, Charles Leclerc, and P3, Lewis Hamilton. We will get to a bit of them later on, but I will just say, I love a Ferrari fight. Okay, racing.
That was the protein of the entire
Yeah.
weekend. You can't survive without protein, and
That was
that's
freaking steak. That
Yeah.
was well-cooked steak.
That's right.
Didn't need any sauce, didn't need any seasoning. That's just a beautifully delivered steak.
and it's perfectly cooked. It's not even a slightly bit over or underdone.
Nope.
Perfect.
Incredible. Melt in your mouth steak.
All right. Well, for the race, then, if we had all the collection of really good sides, or if you want to think of it as like the best drink you could pair with it, this
Yeah.
is like the best glass of red wine to put with it. So for the race, we ended with Kimi with his maiden win. Oh my God. Let's get into that later because it's fabulous. P2, George. P3, Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis freaking Hamilton.
That's
Again,
right.
tabling it, getting back to that steak soon. But first we have to talk about the seven drivers that did not take part or only took partial part in this race.
I don't have any facts here to support what I'm about to say, but this felt like the most amount of DNFs I've ever seen.
Since we've been watching,
Yes.
there have been crazier races that just like the whole field is gone. But since we've been watching seasons, I think you're right.
Yeah, this feels pretty insane, which also probably has to do with the fact that there are 22 people now. However, let's just like give an in memoriam. Like that now it's like the sad music behind it.
This is the funeral buffet.
This is the funeral.
Sorry, y'all. That's a bit morbid, isn't it?
Erase everything we just said before this. We're about to do our funeral buffet series.
Dance Macabre is playing in the background.
This is the funeral portion of the episode. Skippers, you can just skip 30 seconds ahead. First, in our memory, Alex Albon, due to he died of hydraulics failure. Bortoletto passed on because he had technical start issues. Norris and
this was a hard
Piastri.
one.
It's okay. They went together holding hands.
Yeah.
Norris had trouble. They had trouble communicating with his power unit. Hello, Margaret, are you there? No one's there. Piastri. His car wouldn't fire up. Also electrical issues once
Dang,
they got
Margaret.
him on the
Give them
grid.
both.
You know, can't go without him.
Nope.
So he axed himself.
Yeah.
Then Stroll immediately ran 11 laps and was like, I can no longer go on. Stopped on the track like a pure pain in the ass that he is because of battery failure. Then, resulting in the first full safety car, I just want to note.
Yeah.
Alonso, his back. Was it his back? He had couldn't race anymore.
Like hands and feet. They are like the nerve damage going into their hands and feet is so extreme. You have written next to Alonso, parentheses, physical pain. And that's really bad. But reading it like that makes it a little hilarious.
Exactly.
But I need someone to secure his joints.
Oh, immediately. Like,
Please be nice to my man.
with sterling silver screws.
Or just a better engine. Okay, anyway.
That
And then
too.
we come to dun dun dun.
Max Verstappen.
Do 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 do. To the
R.I.P..
pit lane. Yikes.
Cooling issues.
Yeah.
In the arms of the angels. Sarah McLachlan, fly away from here.
Except I think he's punching angels at this point. The man is mad. The man is angry. The man is coming for not only his car, but the entire sport. Also the fans of said sport. He is, he's pulling no punches, y'all.
I expect nothing less from my man.
To be fair, yes. So I have a question for you. We're going to skip our press conference drama for a second. We're going to get right into those comments that I said as he's taking swings at fans.
Yes.
After he was not able to finish the race because this car is abysmal, he said, if you enjoy this, you don't understand racing, referring to this year's regulations, the yo-yo racing, the fact that no one can seem to make it off the start. What do you think? What do you have to say to this?
I do have to say, before he said this comment, I think I felt this probably midway between sprint and the Grand Prix. I understand now. This was the first time since we've started watching this new series of cars. This is the first time that I've seen how challenging it must be if you are a pure racer. You just want to race.
Yeah.
That's all you want to do. You don't want to worry about pushing 5,000 buttons.
Or doing calculations about how full your battery is versus how much you need to overtake and then be prepared to be overtaken yourself.
Exactly.
And then overtake on the same lap.
You have studied your entire life the art of racing. Where we are now, it does not seem like everyone is able to fully experience the art of racing because of the giant diaspora of cars that we are seeing on the track. And they all have the same set of regulations, but clearly some of them really fucking failed. They can't even make it on the grid. Piastri has a big fat 0.
Yes. Sprint, he ran. Don't know what it is about him and the sprint this year, but race starts, none.
Nothing.
Oscar Piastri and I have raced the same amount of Grand Prix laps this year. That is horrifying.
Savage.
I will say I took that from a Threads.
I love that anyway.
I really should find. I'll find who made that joke.
Shout out to the threads person.
Oh my gosh.
I want to give a shout out to Ruth Buscombe, who in the pre-race commentary said, it's like they've been given the new toy without the instruction manual, because that is actually what it seems like this year. I agree with Max. I hear it and I see it. However, two things can be true at the same time. I agree with him. And also, I almost peed my pants because I was so excited watching the Ferraris battle each other cleanly, safely, expertly.
Indeed. I will say about them, I think not only were they employing this battery yo-yo situation we've got, but they also were squeezing each other. Like, I feel like the reason it was such a good battle is because it was a battle of old. That entire lap of dicing back and forth cannot be just blamed on the battery. That was also two incredible race drivers having the most beautiful instinct. Asterisk, last episode, I was like, they're making decisions from their bones. It's like a physical decision. Do you know what I was looking for? The word was instinct.
Oh.
The word was instinct.
Pesky words.
Anyway, but yes, Max is someone who is a full out, flat out racer all the time. This is why I keep coming down on qualifying specifically this year, is you are not really ever just taking that car to the ragged edge. And I can see why he's upset.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And also, this was a really fun race weekend to watch.
Yeah.
I was a little bit thinking of this like, I really enjoyed watching Lando Norris win a World Driver Championship.
Yeah.
I would enjoy a Charles Leclerc World Driver Championship a lot more. But that does not mean that I did not enjoy Lando. I know this is a shock to everyone. If you're new, you're learning exactly who I love right in this moment in real time.
Clearly.
But you can enjoy things and it still not be the peak enjoyment.
Yes.
And I think I'm having to accept that a little bit this year, that I'm having to reorder some of my priorities as to what I enjoy in a race. And I'm going to keep that overarching. These are my favorite things.
Yes.
But I'm also not going to be like, well, I quit. I'm not going to watch. You guys need to fix it.
Yeah.
The history golden age is better.
Yep.
We can have both. We can have an appreciation for what was before and also appreciate what is happening right now.
So a lot of podcasts that I've listened to since the GP have made the point that also DRS was a new function that really polarized the racing community. DRS also made certain, it limited where you could pass and it limited how you could pass. And I agree with that. I started watching. So if we want to use the term, I grew up with that. It's because when I started watching, that's where they started transitioning to the DRS. So for me, that's what I was used to. I can see how frustrating DRS would be.
For sure.
If I had known pre-DRS, I would have preferred that probably.
Well, and ironically, a lot of the same people who are like, DRS is stupid and it's enabling just push to press overtakes are now like, man, I miss DRS.
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm by no means saying you have to dilute what you like. I just think I, as a fan, am going to choose to enjoy what's happening on track.
Yes, I completely agree. So do we want to talk about the press conference?
Yes, because I have a potential bone to pick with F1. Now, I have done some back digging to make sure that this allegation I'm about to throw is correct. And it's possible that it existed somewhere that I haven't seen and I'm wrong. However, my back research is leading me to the fact that Max said some things that were anti this car regulation in the FIA press conference, in the pre-race group press conference. And I saw these comments online later on Thursday. And I was like, wow, interesting. I watched the whole press conference. Where was this? Didn't hear any of that. And then I went back and I was like, yeah, the press conference that Max is in, those press conferences usually run 15 to 18 minutes. It's not a super long thing, but they usually have multiple questions from the broadcasters. There's usually a lot of discourse back and forth, pending how talkative the racers are. This one is pretty chopped. This one is really short. I remember watching it on Thursday and being like, interesting. That's really weird that there weren't that many questions. So this leads me to believe, this is my thesis statement, I think that Formula One censored Max Verstappen.
So first off,
yeah. Unconfirmed, but also kind of confirmed.
Fireworks. Confirmed by the absence of the clip that you saw, which was very clearly dated with a certain time. So it's not like it had a different background on it. It's not like it was Max from years past. It was from this year, from this specific race, unless AI created it, which
in this day and age we need to be concerned about. But it seems like no.
And in the interest of journalistic integrity, I think F1 needs to take care to post everything that is said, unless this is like completely damaging or harmful or hurtful to a group of individuals, which this was not. You need to post everything that was said on the broadcast.
Right.
And this is specifically Max talking about the fact that this car drives like Mario Kart. He's looking for the mushrooms. And in fact, he has replaced his steering wheel with his at-home, what is it called?
Nintendo Switch. He said, I found a cheaper option. Don't need the fancy simulator. I just have the Switch. I've been playing Mario Kart.
Go off, King.
Yeah.
Go off.
He then proceeded to talk about all the different things that he's having more fun doing than driving the F1 2026 car.
Yep. Could I love him anymore? No, impossible. Because he's honest and real. And you know what F1 said? We don't need to post that. It's not about Formula One. We can just chop that right off. He's just being silly and stupid. I'm going to censor him and we
do not appreciate
keep what we need. Yeah, that's unacceptable. Do better.
Yep, do better. But don't worry. He talked to every other journalist in the paddock and they wrote articles about how much he hates this regulation. So his sentiments are definitely being very loudly discussed.
Yeah.
And as we have said in episodes past, if your star driver, let's be real, he is the star driver of Formula One right now. If your star driver is saying this sucks, I think that there should be steps taken to, you can't change the entire regulations. There's been years and years and years of research and tech and building of this car put into this regulation, but you could look into ways to kind of make it more enjoyable for the drivers who are putting on the show for us.
Yeah, I agree. Give them a voice, let it be heard, and also then use it.
Yep. Okay, but we have said how much we enjoyed it, and therefore, let's talk about the things that we did really enjoy.
Yes, finally. Okay, I'm dying to ask you this. How much time do you think Russell really lost when he was behind the Ferraris fighting each other? Which, by the way, Leclerc gave the best radio quote of the race, which is, I'm actually really enjoying this.
I freaking love that. You could so tell that he had a grin in his voice.
Yes.
He was dicing with, I keep saying dicing. He was tussling back and forth in a race car.
Slicing and dicing.
Yeah. With his teammate, who is a 7-time world driver champion. I feel like some people have kind of forgotten that he's really good. And this regulation set, he's like, hey, remember me. Yep. Remember my 7 giant trophies. I'm going to use
heavy.
Those. They're real heavy. They're real wide. Charles in the sprint was like, does he remember how big these cars are? And Lewis Hamilton's like, they're big enough to put all 7 trophies in there.
And big enough to whoop your ass to 3rd place, boy.
Not in the sprint. The sprint, Charles prevailed. But in the race, yes, Lewis Hamilton found his way, finally, to the podium in Ferrari red.
Love.
I am so excited for him. It was actually a really special podium, because Kimi Antonelli has the same race engineer that Lewis spent almost his entire career with.
Wait. I do want to talk about that, but you didn't answer my question. I got to pin you to the point, because we do have to talk about Bono. How much time do you think Russell reasonably lost?
Yes, I'm very glad that you brought us back to this. I do think he cooked his tires, because remember, China is so hard on your front tires.
And 1 pit stop at lap 12.
Yeah. Since there was the safety car, everyone was like, whoa.
Yep.
Let's figure out a different strategy. And
I'm shocked.
Was exciting. Yeah. But yeah, I think that George did lose some time, but I then was surprised that he did not catch right on up with Antonelli. And I think we can say probably cooked his tires. And also, Kimi Antonelli, despite the fact that he may be a little bit lucked into his pole position, he then put in the performance that was needed to secure the race. This was not handed to him.
Wait, wow. You think he lucked into that pole?
I think that the circumstances were such that it made it a lot clearer for him. I don't necessarily think that if it had been the out and outright fight that we would have gotten it if George hadn't had issues with his car in qualifying, then Kimi would not have just beat him outright. But the data that we have thus far points to the fact that George probably could have gotten pole position again. But you have to be there. This is a game of chance.
Yeah.
You have to put in the performance. Just because you have a great car doesn't mean your teammate goes missing and you automatically just step into that spot.
Here's the most exciting thing about the cars this year. I'm just going to say they're unreliable. This is the most exciting thing thus far. Who knows what they're going to do?
Yeah.
Are they going to blow up? Are they going to stop? Are the wheels going to fall off? I don't know. Maybe.
Will they start or will they get bogged down?
Exactly.
You were talking to me about the commentators talking about that in relation to Max Verstappen and his rather abysmal starts, unfortunately.
Yes. So this is a little fun topic, which is that a lot of, i.e. Red Bull and Mercedes, are talking with the FIA about the start. And they want to do something to change the rules so they can change their cars to make a better start. Because Kimi specifically and Max on the sprint, they were so slow. Max Verstappen could not get anywhere. And what they used for that term is called being bogged down. Now, what I know of bogged down refers to normal engines, not specifically these Formula One engines. And it is a term used when you flood the engine and then it struggles to start because it's flooded. You're drowning. The engine is drowning. That's the Elaine version of my tech term.
I am interested to learn, more about how these starts are going for the people that it's not going well, because we, of course, have acknowledged that your battery and your tires have to be in exactly the right window. And some people are able to make sure their battery is really full based on that one formulation lap. Yes. Did you hear me? I said it right. And other people, aka Red Bull and Mercedes, are struggling to do that. And so that is going to be something that we definitely keep an eye on over this season, is understanding more of the finer points and the finesse that comes into why it's working so well for Ferrari and why it's working so poorly for these other engine manufacturers.
So you can guess what Ferrari's response was.
Shut the F up.
That's exactly right.
Which, as I said when we were debuting this energy, like this turbo thing as a possible concern for the starts.
Yes.
Fred Vasseur brought this up months ago, y'all. This is not like they just kept their mouth zipped and were like, we'll just hope everyone else figures it out. No, he brought this up. They decided to move forward with making a smaller turbo, which I will say can sometimes be a deficit for them across a race because you have access to less power.
Yeah.
Smaller turbo means that you can spool it up faster, but it also means there's less like actual power available to you. So they chose to shape their car around this as a I'm getting real worked up.
Yeah, but this is interesting, and this is the passion of Formula One. This is the passion of the Christ.
Oh gosh.
But it's similar. People are passionate about both.
Oh, Elaine.
I mean the Jesus arms.
You gave like a George Russell T-pose / oh no, I'm not touching that. Let us move on to the fact that we had some excellent points finishers, because if you lose 7 racers, even if you have 22 drivers on the track, it's going to make way for some people who don't usually get points, right?
Yes.
Who of those were your favorite to see get points?
Well, I just want to give a shout out to Esteban Ocon.
This is not who I thought you were going to go with.
He is not normally my boy.
Yeah?
But he ended up getting a 10-second time penalty for causing a collision with my driver of the day, who is Frinto Colapinto.
A lot of beans in that.
So many frijoles. Listen, get back on track, Elaine. Esteban Ocon immediately came on the radio, not 5 seconds later. Yeah, that was my fault. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. Are we in a Twilight universe?
It's perhaps so.
Because no one ever admits their faults in Formula One.
No one, and specifically Esteban Ocon.
Exactly.
Wow, it was so magnanimous.
I can't believe, I was in pure disbelief. But also, I loved watching specifically the Alpines racing with the Haas's. I loved every bit of that midfield snack.
Yes.
And also, quick shout out to Carlos Sainz, who managed to get 9th place.
2 points. Not just one. The fact that the Williams is anywhere near that is such a testament to the fact that Carlos Sainz is an incredible driver.
And that there were 7 DNFs.
and that. But I'm going to really try to give Carlos his due because, man, he was promised this back row team was going to move forward when he had to leave Ferrari. And I just want good things for that man.
All right. So what was your favorite thing to watch before we wrap up?
In terms of the midfield,
Yes.
Oliver Behrman. Oliver Behrman in 5th position. What a drive. What a drive. He is putting his teammate in the shade. And I am really excited to see him develop his skills in a midfield team. But at least right now he's running close. Actually, that's not true. The front teams are far, far, far forward, but he is having to run at the front of the midfield pack. And I think that's going to kind of simulate some lessons for him as to how to lead the pack, because I think that in the future he will be at the very, very front and he'll have that experience to draw upon.
You know what? Well said. I can't argue with you.
I'm
Honestly.
so excited.
That was beautiful. That was great for him. Should we just quickly talk about the Kimi, Lewis Hamilton, and Russell Bono Toto Wolff moment?
That's a love letter right there.
I mean, the amalgamation of those people together is something I honestly didn't know I needed it until it happened.
Agreed. And George Russell, I will say a piece for him. I will give these kudo points to George Russell, who ran a good race and ended up on the podium next to his teammate in a season that he is likely going to be up there a lot. He saw in the traditional photo that is taken of the 3 podium placers and then also the team member of the winning constructor, they all take those 4 people a little group picture. It's very cute. George had the wherewithal, the knowledge to look around, the heart to look around and be like, you know who's up here? Lewis Hamilton, Bono, Kimi. They are a little trio, a little tether. And so George stepped aside and said, you guys take a photo of this really special moment. And I got like 10 plus respect points for George Russell in that moment. We know he really respects Hamilton. There is a likeliness that that's exactly what was happening. But I just think what a cool moment for those humans.
That is really sweet. I actually didn't see that, so I still think he's a knob. But I like that happened. The most specific part that I liked, though, was right before that when Kimi and Bono gave each other a hug. Hamilton came right behind and hugged Bono, and Bono gave the camera a big thumbs up towards Lewis Hamilton. I mean, I was like, wow, could you be any more adorable? No, you couldn't.
Well, actually, the thing that was even more adorable to me was Kimi Antonelli coming out like a game show contestant who just won $1 million because he not only has won his very first Formula One race, achieved the first of these dreams, he was announced as Kimi Räikkönen. That's why when he came out, I was like, why does he look so excited? It's as if someone just told him that he won the race. Yeah, it turns out it's because I wasn't hearing because we were shouting in my living room because it's Kimi, he won. Didn't hear it. They announced him as Kimi Räikkönen.
Oh my God.
If there is anyone less like the Iceman, it's Kimi Antonelli.
He's just the sweetest little babe.
Yeah, who's just like awed by everything around him.
Hilarious.
The antithesis to Kimi Räikkönen.
Yes. Also, the tears.
Yeah.
The tears that Kimi shed were so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What a special moment. I'm really pleased that as we accumulate seasons, we are also accumulating these historical moments that we get to see. We will be able to say, we saw Kimi Antonelli win his first race. I remember when he put that first stamp in the book that I'm sure going to be filled with wins for him.
Yeah.
It makes me emotional.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Because it is. Yeah. And the fact that we get to share this with millions of other people and him. Beautiful.
Sports.
Yeah. They bring us together.
Yeah.
They can tear us down, but there are enough of us that are willing to fight to keep us all together. So keep fighting the good fight, y'all. Yeah. Because it's worth it.
What a great place to end this episode.
I love it.
I have chills. I love Formula One. I love doing this with you. I hope that you guys had a blast reliving the gigantic buffet that was the Chinese Grand Prix.
Exactly right. Well, we are very excited. In 2 weeks, we get the Japanese Grand Prix. We will, of course, throw a nice little midnight party because it will be happening at midnight our time.
Yeah. This is kind of the end of those like really late ones for us for right now. And it's a vibe.
Yeah.
And then I will also be ready for Sunday mornings.
Yeah, exactly. full vibe check. This is, I think, the only one where we throw that like super late night party.
Yeah.
But so next week we'll be back to talk about the track, to talk about our predictions, and anything else that you would like to know. Shoot us a DM, shoot us an email, reach out to us in any way you know how.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And that's it. So with that, it's legs out
and away we go.
We'll see you next time.